the aviation sector, not just in Delhi, but overall country, as North India continues to grapple with foggy weather conditions, leading to diversions of more than hundreds of flights since yesterday. It has continued over today. More than 30 flights are delayed today, but that has not really prevented people from taking to airs. In fact, India recorded highest number of domestic air flyers in 2023 from January to December period, which is of course expected to be most chaotic, not just by the way of people taking to skies for flying outside of the country or within the country for holiday season, but also when North India generally grapples with foggy weather condition. It is in that time that India recorded more than 15 million passengers taking to skies. So nothing is deterring them.
So I think the fog days between Jan last year to December last year, I think December last year we saw 4 foggy days, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. I don't remember Jan 2023 how many, but yeah, give or take, I think must have been about 7-8 days of fog. But yeah, it's not just that. It is not just foggy conditions not preventing flyers from taking to the skies. In fact, there have been a lot of ups and downs in the Indian travel and aviation sector all of 2023. The biggest among them was, of course, the privatization of Air India, and Air India now owned by Tata Sons, and this whole Tata Air India with Tara Air Asia combined emerging as one entity. IndiGo continuing to capture more and more market share, right now at about 60%. One airline which commanded about 5% market share, which was Go First, actually getting grounded. Another airline emerging in late 2022 called Akasa Air, and SpiceJet facing its own issues of part of the fleet getting grounded, and of course its own fundraise issues which are hopefully now getting addressed. So overall, it's been a year of up and down for the Indian travel sector. We were in fact always looking at benchmarks with respect to pre-COVID travel coming back. And that came back, and how, in 2023. So obviously at one level we are talking about, because of Go First actually going under, we saw airfares really jump because of rising fuel prices, higher ATF costs, etc., and many other factors that went into play. Air travel cost actually went up in 2023 drastically. And there was practically nothing done to cap those prices, put a ceiling on those prices. And yet, at some level, we saw passengers taking to the skies. At the same time, I think there is a lot of other data which sort of coincides and further reaffirms the fact that there are more and more affluent Indians who are waiting in the wings right now to fulfill their aspirations. The latest report which came from Goldman Sachs over the weekend suggested that more and more Indians, almost 1 billion Indians, are going to be in the affluent section, not just the middle class, which was the price report which came in 2023, but are going to be beyond the middle class and in the affluent section. That data has come out recently, reaffirming why passengers are taking to the skies and consumers are willing to spend through their noses and get access to that seat in an aircraft. Add to that, of course, look at, reconcile that data with rising sales of SUVs, reconcile that data with luxury houses being bought. In fact, there are fewer sub 50 lakh rupee houses getting sold, and the maximum number of houses getting sold are upwards of 1.5 crore rupees. So overall, I think all this data, including data coming from the aviation sector, suggesting that there is spending power in India, and there are more and more people who are graduating to the middle class, graduating to the affluent section of society, and have the wherewithal to fly despite higher prices, despite many other uncertainties. And obviously, I think coming out of COVID, that whole you live only once, YOLO philosophy, the FOMO philosophy, which is the fear of missing out, all of this is playing well for the Indian flyer.
And you look at the graph there on the screens right now from 2020, when it was recorded at about 6.3 crores up to 15.2 crores in the year of 2023. There's been a great turnaround.
Because 2020, 2021, all of 2020, most of 2021, you did not really have an option to fly. So it was only the emergency services, it was only the Vande Bharat flights which were getting passengers back from multiple places, and very few flights where you required the clearances before you could take to the sky. So I would actually go by the 2019 pre-COVID data.
But
and
prior to
2023, we've seen-
2019,
Yeah,
perhaps, because
absolutely.
March of 2019 March of 2020
So
is when.
2019 is actually the real benchmark to consider here.
Okay.
And we've well surpassed that number of
Absolutely.
14.4
Beyond.
crore and added another 60 lakh odd flyers.
Absolutely. So we have surpassed the pre-COVID levels when it comes to number of flyers.